Can Solana flip Ethereum? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my technical analysis on Solana, sharing my thoughts and opinions as to how high I think the price action could go for the SOL token. Could it really flip Ethereum? Well, I'll leave that for you guys to decide. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, and let's jump down into the charts and take a look at what's going on with Solana. So here we have Solana paired up with USDT. We're on the 1 week time frame here, and I'm going to give you my price prediction for 2025 today, and I'll be sharing with you guys where I think the price action is likely to go. Okay, so first of all, to understand how high Solana could go, we first of all need to ascertain, what's happened historically and whether or not we think history is likely to repeat itself. Okay, so we saw a fantastic surge to the upside with Solana from the lows of December 2020, which was $1.03, up to its kind of bull market peak in 2021, where it was at $259. That was a 25,000% move. It did phenomenally well, not as good as some, but definitely better than others, right? It definitely did and outperformed significantly better than Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP, Algorand, Stellar, but not as good as things like Harmony One, VeChain, or Matic, for example. They significantly outperformed Solana, but it sits right there in the middle, right? It's done very, very well with 25,000% gains during 2020 and into 2021. The question then becomes, does Solana go on to repeat history? Does it do another 25,000%? There's lots of speculation. Does Solana go ahead and flip Ethereum with, Solana ETFs and all of that? I think we should be thinking about where the resistances are likely to be, where selling pressure is likely to start to creep on in, and how high, the price action could realistically be going versus, the hope and the hype. But I'm going to give you all of it, so you guys can make more informed decisions as to what you think is likely to occur. Okay, so 25,000%, can it repeat that? Well, it's definitely possible. If we follow Elliott wave theory, it tells us that we should be expecting significant surges to the upside, right? Usually a C wave would mirror that of the A wave, right? So if you have an A wave up, B wave down, your C wave should be going up in another 25,000% minimum, right? Although that's not your minimum expectation, that's kind of your typical structure. Minimum expectation alongside any kind of trader will tell you a double top. Okay, so $259 is going to be our flat out basic minimum expectations on Solana in 2025. I think we will outperform $259. We have our bear market low point, currently sat down there at $8. Okay, that was during the FTX collapse and all that. And we can see here that we have started to come back down and retest out some of these EMAs as well. Okay, with recent lows this week just coming down at $122 and previously at $110. I still see the need for Solana to also test some additional lows. So I don't think the worst is over there yet, but it doesn't really impact our long-term vision. Okay, so where do we think the resistances are likely to be? If we can see great growth during 2020 and 2025 of 2020 and 2021, we can see great growth of 25,000%, then how high does that actually mean that the price action is going to go? Well, if we take that measurement using the Fibonacci tools and we put this over to our $8 low point that we had during 2022, okay, and we go ahead and we measure out, that distance. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I snap this directly to that wick so that we have the right level there. It's going to be $8 flat, okay. Now, if we do that and we kind of take a look at this, our kind of expectations for Solana in terms of Elliott wave theory anyway are going to sit between 1 and 1.236 on the Fibonacci sequencing scale, right? Those extension levels. That essentially means that the price action would theoretically go to $2,000 to $7,000. So if we were to see an Ethereum spot ETF, I think this would be the territory to be expecting. Okay, this is going to be the range where we could see the potential of Solana going under an ETF kind of world, right? And I think there's a high probability that Solana will end up with an ETF in the future. So therefore, a $2,000 to $7,000 Solana token is something that we should really be serious about. It's not kind of something that we can joke about and say that it isn't likely to happen, because I do think there's a high probability at some point in the future that we do see Solana moving up to $2,000 to $7,000. But does that mean it's going to happen in 2025? I don't believe we are likely to see that kind of surge straight away. I don't think we're going to see that in one bull market. I think if we're going to get to $2,000 to $7,000, it's going to take multiple cycles to get there. Maybe by 2030, we might see this level. So what about 2025? How high do we think Solana could go in the next bull market? Well, I think Solana has the potential to find some resistance at the double top, so 259, but also just a little bit higher than that. We can see here that there's going to be some key Fibonacci levels that I think are going to be some resistance and some blockers for price action. Essentially, what I mean is we're going to find some people wanting to sell at these psychological levels. These are going to be $250, which are right in line with the previous all-time high, the $388, which is the magic 702. Bitcoin loves a 702 if you didn't know. And then of course we have the 786, which is about $618. These are going to be key areas where I would be watching the price action closely. If we see rejection from these, we should be expecting a deeper decline in the price, as in this is going to be a huge pocket of selling pressure. If we get a closed position on a weekly or daily time frame above the 618, that's going to, or the 786 I should say, is going to be a real bullish move where we could potentially be targeting out $1,000 plus. So for Solana, I think the potential is there, but is it going to be massive percentage gains from its current position? If we take a look at its current price at the point of recording, up to its previous all-time high is about 98%. Up to the $600 level, we're talking 360%, and up to $2,000, we are talking about 1,400%. So a lot of the gains really are kind of already gone. They're kind of already happened since 2020. Meaning that I expect more money to flow out of Solana into other altcoins as it progresses into these final stages. I would say that we look at Solana in the same ways that we look at what happened in 2017 with money going out of Bitcoin into Ethereum, going out of Ethereum into XRP, going out of XRP into something else. I would say that Solana is in that kind of bracket where, yes, it's had a lot of the early stage gains, but money is more than likely going to roll out of Solana into other projects as it hits these psychological levels. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It shows that profits are being taken, but the opportunity for significant gains, I feel, has probably already passed when it comes to Solana. If you are not already in, or you're only looking for a few X's, then sure, I think Solana is probably a good bet, but I wouldn't say expect another 25,000% from its current position today. But of course, these are just my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. What do you think about Solana? Do you think it has a potential to do 25,000% from its current price? Do you think $2,000 to $7,000 is likely to happen? And if so, when do you think it's going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below, or join us in our free Discord server. We'd love to hear from you. And guys, check out this video right here. You're not going to want to miss it.